fun to start with. Good. Okay, so we're recording. So during the class, if there's anything that doesn't feel quite right, please come out of the exercise or take an alternative if you need to. And if you need to get in touch with us during the class, the lovely Craig from Active Newham is in the background, so you can put a message in the chat and he'll answer your question if I can't get to it in time. So just bring the feet hip width apart, and my Pilates is probably a little bit different to traditional Pilates. I do a little bit of exercise, a little bit of fitness Pilates, and osteopathic conditions. So yeah, great for hips, lower back, but this is advanced, so we will push it a little bit tonight. So we're just going to start off with our shoulder circles. So breathing in, breathing out, just circling those shoulders, making sure you've got the connection with the feet on the ground. So little toe, big toe, a little bit of weight on the heels, and then take the hands to the shoulders, just gentle rolls backwards with the shoulders, elbows circling, and then take it to a full circle, really relaxing through the shoulders, but lifting up, finding as much range of motion as you can. And then circling forward. So Craig, you can do this one seated. If you're seated, you can do it seated. Get some movement into those shoulders. Good. And then let's take the hands to the side of the body. Let's come to a side bend. So just breathing out, reaching out, side bend, come back to the center. Make sure these knees aren't rolling in too much. So make sure the knees are pushing out, coming round to the side, and again, side bend. Coming back. Good, one more. Good, then let's take a gentle squat. So we're going to take the bottom back, come into a gentle squat, the knees pushing out, come all the way up. And again, gentle squat, just getting a little bit of movement into the back. I'm guessing, Manisha, it's actually morning over there. So we're on 5 to 7 here in the UK, PM. So I've been teaching most of the day. So if you're doing class here, you're probably a little bit more mobile. But if you're in the morning over there, oh, it may be lunchtime, I guess. I don't know. Last one. Coming all the way back up. Good. Come up onto the toes this time. So just float up onto the toes, float down. So getting some movement into the feet. Now, when we come down and roll down and come into our planks, I want you to still have that little toe, big toe connection with the ground in the same way as you are now standing. Good. Last one. Good. We're going to come to a roll down. So roll the shoulders forwards. Keep the knees soft. Tuck the chin in and just roll down. Maybe down to the knees if the hamstrings are okay. A little further, coming down to the ankles, and then rolling all the way back up. We're going to float the arms, but pull back into a nice stretch for the front of the body. So float the arms up and then pull the elbows back and come all the way back and release down. Good. 2 more roll downs. So rolling down, breathing out. Relax the shoulders, bring the weight forwards. Maybe finding a gentle stretch and release so there's hamstrings, rolling all the way up. So vertebrae at a time, make the arms and head heavy. Coming all the way back up, circle shoulders backwards, floating up, falling back. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. One more. Rolling down, tuck the chin in. So we have gone global now, Craig. We've had somebody from Italy on the Saturday mornings for quite a few weeks. But Manisha, I think, well, you're my first United States. I had somebody from Singapore in my private classes, but that was my private ones. And somebody I knew in that one. So rolling down, tuck the chin in. This time we're going to come out into that plank. So make sure thumbs come with fingers. Walk the hands all the way out. Come into your plank, shoulders over hands. Roll these elbows in. Important if you've got any shoulder issues, keep those hands in. Come into that plank, squeezing up, drawing up, little toe, big toe connection on the ground. Hold it here. Breathing in, breathing out. And then walk the hands back in. Try and keep the hips steady, knees out. Roll all the way back in. Let's roll all the way up. And come to a squat on the end this time. So rolling all the way down into plank, rolling all the way back up into squat. See if you can get the arms a little higher up by the ears. Good, come all the way down. So rolling down, breathing out, rolling down, relaxing through the body. Come all the way out into that squat, into that plank. So squeezing the shoulders back, head going forwards. Hold and breathe, pulling up through the body, pushing down through the hands, and then rolling all the way back up, walking all the way back in. Rolling all the way back up. Circling shoulders backwards, coming into squat. If anybody else has joined us, put a little message in the chat so I know you're here. Rolling down, all the way down. Coming all the way out into our plank. Good, this time, elbow to knee on the same side to begin with. So draw the elbow in, drop the head, and then take the leg all the way back out. So elbow in, take it out, and again, bringing it in, take it back out, knee in, take it back out. Come down onto the knees, take a sit back onto child's pose, bottom to ankles. Give the hands a little wiggle, just wiggle the hands, give them a little stretch. And then come back up onto all fours or back into your plank. So your choice. Aha, somebody else has come. Oh, Monty, hello. We got two today, that's good. Good, welcome. Please put in the chat if you've got any issues or injuries or anything you want to concentrate on. Otherwise, we're coming back up to our plank. So come to plank. This time bring opposite elbow, knee to opposite elbow. So bring it in, take it back out. Try not to rock backwards and forwards with the shoulders. So we're going to do 4 on each side. Take it in, take it out. Bringing it across. Breathing out to come in. Breathing in to come back. Breathing out. Breathing in. Good. When you've done the 4, put your knees back down. Sitting back into that child's pose, so stretching the arms all the way out. Coming all the way back down, and then walk the hands over to the right side. So walk them over, you're aiming your nose towards your knee. So really finding your stretch down this outside of the body. Bring the nose down towards the ground, but almost aiming for the knee. Take a couple of breaths here. And then come all the way back to the center. Now pull on your mat here. So pulling back, if you've got a mat, pull back, push the palms into the ground, pull back and feel the stretch in the shoulders. And then walk the hands over to the opposite side, feeling this stretch down. Nose is aiming towards the knee. Hold and breathe. Find that stretch. Good. Come back to the center. Come back up onto all fours, back into your plank, elbows facing in, back into your plank. And then this time, lift the bottom to the ceiling, come into a kind of a downward dog, but a bit wider than downward dog. And then bring the weight forwards into your plank. Good. Taking the bottom back, backwards, pushing the bottom back. Forwards into plank. Building some strength in these wrists and the upper body. Take it back, backward into that downward dog. Forwards into plank. And then walk the hands again back towards the feet, bend the knees, roll up through the spine. Gentle roll up. Come all the way back. When you come to the top, circle shoulders backwards, come into your squat. A little deeper if you can. Good. Coming all the way up. We're going to work on the hips. Manisha said hips. So we're going to take that, just that hip out to the side. So we're going to bring the knee up and circle the foot out. Bring it all the way back. So as you take it out, only tap the toe down. So you're using the core. So take it all the way out. She says wobbling. Bring it back. We're going to do 6. Take it out. Bring it back. Good. And then come to the opposite side. So take it out to the side. We're going to do a similar move to this on the ground that's going to strengthen through our hip, but strengthen through our core. So I want you to get a movement to see just how mobile you are in the hips to begin with. Good, make sure there's one more. Good, and then just march on the spot. And take the arms up above the head, thumbs facing backwards. So nice wide arms, thumbs facing backwards, feet and knees together now. We're going to also do this one on the ground without arms, but I want you to find the movement first. So pull the belly in and then sit back into a squat, bring the arms down. So the arms are going to come into this W shape and then up into a V shape. So when we do this on the ground, it's going to be for a back strengthener. We're going to open up backwards. So we're going to come this way with it. But at the moment, we're just going to come down, squeeze it down and come back up. Good, hopefully, so coming down to that W. You can bring the arms a little lower if you want, elbows down and then back up, but at least level with the shoulders. Bring it all the way down and coming back up. Good, relax the arms down, circle the shoulders. And then come back down to the ground, roll it all the way down. Come back down to the ground, come on to hands and knees, and then we're going to come over onto the back. So coming down onto hands and knees, take a stretch back. I'm going to come over onto the back and do leg drop, leg sweep. But as we're in advanced class, we're going to start it in tabletop. So watch if you want to begin with. So you should, if you're doing Pilates, you should be familiar with this movement. But we're actually going to do it from tabletop straight away because I want to work the core as well today. So we're going to start 1 foot in tabletop, just 1 foot to begin with. Hands on the hips, so you're not moving these hips at all. So we're going to come, breathe out, bring the knee out to the side, breathe out, bring it back to the center, and then sweep it down and sweep it out long, hover it off the ground, and then bring it back. We're going to do 5 on each side. So we're going to come out to the center and come back and then sweep it down. So when you're ready, come down onto the ground, onto your back if you've not already. So 5 on the one side, 5 on the opposite side. Make sure this knee does not come over the belly. We're keeping it out over the hip so that we're engaging the core. So really draw that belly button towards the spine. Keep the back in neutral, slide that leg all the way out, hover it up. So from this angle, we'll take the other leg when you've done 5. So take the leg out to the side, keep both hips still, bring it back to the center, breathe out, take it all the way out, and then bring it all the way back in. Good, take it out to the side, breathing out. Bring it all the way back in. Pressing all the way down, slide it out long. Bring it all the way back in. Good, make sure you've done 5 on each side. And then bring the leg back to the center. Bring both feet down to the ground. So both feet down to the ground. And then this time we're going to slide the leg out and take the opposite arm overhead. So breathing out this time, slide the leg out, take the opposite arm over the head. And as we advance, we're going to take it out just from 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We're going to take it 1 digit diagonally on the clock face. So keep pulling in, but take that foot out. And then bring it back to the center and bring it back in. Just with feet on the ground to start with. So sweeping out, take it all the way out, arm and leg off, hover, hover, hover. Then take it out to the side. So we're working these hips. Come back to the center, drawing all the way back in. So again, we're going to take this one from tabletop. We're going to do 5 on each side. So knee into tabletop, knee into tabletop. So take the opposite arm, opposite leg, sweep it all the way out. Take it over that digit to open up through the hips. Come back to the center. Bring it all the way back in. Good. So really control the movement. Sweep this leg down and out. Engage this core. Take the arm overhead. Keep the shoulder blade down away from the ears. Come all the way back. So 5 on each side. So as you take this arm over the head, try not to lift the shoulder up. Try and keep the shoulder blade back on the ground. Keep it connected with the ground. Take it all the way over. Even if that means that the arm isn't going as far. Don't want to lift this shoulder all the way up. So 5 on each side. And then draw the knees back into the chest. Take a gentle circle with the knees. So gentle side circle. And gentle circle the opposite way. Good. Let's try that one from both legs in tabletop. So both knees in tabletop, knees over hips, and we're going to alternate this time. So hands by the side of the body, drawing that belly in, finding that core. Remember, if it gets too strong, place one foot back down on the ground. So sweep that one leg out, sweep opposite arm overhead, keep tight through the core, controlled, and then come all the way back. And again, sweeping out. So take the leg out and arm out 1 digit on the clock face if you want. Bring it all the way back in, coming all the way back. So sweeping out long, breathing out. Take that arm across, leg across, challenging the core, but opening in the hips. So we'll do 5 again on each side, 5 on each side, and then bring the knees into the chest. Don't rush if you're still working. When you've done the last one, knees into chest, gently circling around through the legs. And then circling the opposite way. So really starting to challenge that core, challenge the abdominals, but opening up into those hips. Good. When you've done the last one, bring the knees down onto the ground. Bring the soles of the feet together and just open out through the hips. Soles of the feet together, open the knees, bring the hands onto the belly, and just notice how the hips feel now. Just notice. So breathing in, breathing out. Just notice how those hips feel. Good. And then draw the knees back to the center. Draw the knees into the chest, hands underneath the thighs, and rock backwards and forwards. So we're going to do 5 rocks. 5 rocks. If this isn't for you, the rocking, come over onto one side and come up for seating. Otherwise, rolling like a ball, classic Pilates exercise. And then come up to seated. Once you're in seated, bring both feet in front. So just both feet in front. So we're going to come into our swan pose. We'll come into it from here today. So we're going to bend the front leg so that the front leg is near to the calf, and sweep that bottom leg around the back. So the toes of the right leg are on the ground. Hip is rolling down, back down towards the ground. And front leg, if you can get it a little further forwards, you can, but watch how this knee feels. So we're coming over so that we're stretching through the hips. So turn that back leg down, pigeon in yoga, same kind of movement in Pilates. Good for opening up through the hips. Bring the hands down to either side so you're nice and stable. Relax the shoulders. So just think about squeezing that knee backwards. Gentle squeeze through the bottom and engagement through the core, through the pelvic floor, just to keep nice and strong. And then close the eyes. We're just going to take 3 breaths, breathing in, breathing out. So just try and let that back hip sink into the ground. Just let that back hip sink into the ground. And then come over and lean on this left leg. So you're sitting your arm down onto the butt cheek, and then grab hold of your back leg. Little toe is coming towards the outer edge of your hip. So you want to rotate the little toe inwards. So it's coming towards this back foot. So bringing that foot in towards this little toe, towards this hip, not towards the bottom. So really try and squeeze it in, getting a nice thigh stretch. So breathing in, breathing out. You can do this one lying down on the side if you've got any shoulder issues. And then release. Let's take the opposite side. Oh, that's my stereo. Bring the leg in. The wonders of working in the spare room. I'm so glad I'm back in the studio for some sessions. Oh, my room. Turn that foot under at the back. Bring the hips to the side. And then roll this back hip down. Good. Slide the back leg away and then try and relax the weight down through the front of this leg. So at any point you need to come out, come just down onto the side hip. So breathing in, breathing out, just hold and breathe. Did anybody else come in? No, just you two, brave souls tonight. Good, hold and breathe. Although I know a few people are back in the studio, so not everybody's zooming. A few people are a little bit zoomed out with everything now. Good, come back onto that side hip. Take hold of the back foot. So drawing that little toe towards the outside edge of your hip, finding a stretch through the big muscle of the quadriceps. Really important for knee health. So that you're opening up through the hamstrings and through the quads. Just breathing in and breathing out. Just hold and breathe. And then release all the way out. Bring the legs all the way round to the front and just release out through these hips. So bring the soles of the feet again together and just release out. So just rock the legs, just butterfly the legs. I think I might have to open the window. It was cold in here earlier, but it's getting a bit of a sweat on. Let me just open the window a second. Good, keep butterflying those legs. Otherwise, I'll be turning beetroot colour and almost matching my t-shirt, which won't be good. Good. We're going to come back onto all fours and try and now we've opened the hips up a little bit, we're going to try and strengthen through the hips. So all fours to begin with, let me show you this way round. So all fours to begin with, we're going to open up with the side of the leg. So we're going to open up this knee out to the side. Try and keep this other hip steady. I'll show you from the other angle in a minute. So we're going to open this leg out to the side and then bring it back. Not all the way down to the ground. So hover it off. Take it out. Bring it back. So try not to, when you take that leg out, try not to do this and lean over on one leg. Keep the hips still. Keep the balance in. Use the core. So the core controls this movement. So the core is controlling it out and bringing it back. We're going to do 4 on each side. So steady, pull the belly in, focus on the elbows, take the leg out to the side. So coming all the way out, breathing out, looking down at the hands, so you're not lifting the head up. 1 more. Good. Now we're going to bring it to the side. So this time, we're going to lift out to the side and then we're going to bring it forwards to touch the elbow and then back down. So bring it out to the side, forwards, touch the elbow. You can bring the weight a little bit over the wrists. So out to the side, forwards, touch the elbow, coming back. So 4 on each side. So out to the side, forwards and back. Good. Out and back. Good. 1 more. Keep the head down, unlike me. Come back. Bring the weight off the wrist. Take it all the way back. I might have to take my active new t-shirt off for a little while. Getting the sweat on. Woo-hoo! So what happens when you do advanced Pilates and HIIT in the same session. Good. So this time you've got the option. You can come up into your plank for that movement. So coming up into plank, make sure these elbows turn inwards. Try not to have the crease of the elbow turning forwards. Really bad for your shoulder, but you may be hypermobile if that's happening. So if that is happening to you, or you're getting this kind of movement while you're doing your planks, you've got that hypermobility in the shoulders, and you really need to try and keep them in this position so that you're not getting that instability through the shoulders. Take the feet back. So come into that plank, bottom down, belly in. So we're going to lift into our side and take it back. So breathing out, coming back. You can come a little bit further forwards on the hands if you've got the strength in the shoulders. If it's too strong on the shoulders, mine's still recovering a little bit from an issue, bring it back down, bring it all the way in. Keep these shoulders from rotating. So when you've done the 4 on each side, come all the way back again, take the hands forwards, release the head down, just give a little wiggle through the hands. And then we're going to slide all the way down onto the belly. So come down onto the belly, bring the hands underneath the head to begin with. And just releasing all the way down. Good. So we're going to come to that movement we did standing up with the arms. So we'll do it on one side to begin with, just one side. So bring the right arm out so that your arm is out of the horizontal in that wide V shape. So we're going to lift the thumb up and then pull the arm back and then come all the way back and lower down. So lifting up, do it from this side. So you've got wide arm, thumb up. You're going to lift up, pull back, come back to the center, lower down. Good. Make sure your feet are wide at the back of your mat. Your hips are down on the ground, stabilizing the body. Nose is near the floor, crown of the head going forward. So let's do 4 on each side. Lift with the thumb, lifting up with the thumb. Nose can come just off the floor. Pull back, pushing out, lower down. Try and keep your belly button pulling up off the floor. So you're keeping strong through the core, not collapsing all the way down. Good. When you've done 4 on each side, try it with both arms. See how strong the back is. So lifting up, chest is going to come a little higher. Pull back, squeezing back. Really good this one for shoulders and for backs. Back strengthener. Also good for the shoulders, pulling all the way back, coming all the way forwards, releasing down. Good. And again, lifting up, pulling back, squeezing out, lower down. Good. 2 more. When you've done the last 2, bring the head down to the ground, turn the head to one side. So 2 more if you can, then bring the head down to the side. Just releasing out. Give the hips a little wiggle. Wiggle through the hips. And then we're going to come to our swimming. So with our swimming, we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg to start with. So we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg, one hand underneath. So we're going to do lift and lock, lifting our leg, lifting one arm, lifting one leg, pulling the belly button in. So halfway down and coming back up. We're going to do 6 on one side, 6 on the opposite side. So opposite arm, opposite leg, lifting up, squeezing through the bottom, squeezing through the back. So squeezing up. And then we're going to do the legs. So with the legs, we're going to bring the ankles and feet together and we're just going to lift the legs up. So feet together, legs lift up and lower. So legs are lifting up and lower. Squeezing up. Ankles together as well if you can. Squeeze. Squeeze. And then we're going to kick. We're going to kick for 30 seconds. So kick those legs. See if you're swimming, kick, 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 kick. Try and kick from the hips, not from the knees. So we're not doing this. Kicking from the hips, kick, kick, kick. Keep going. Now, when we're in London, we pretend we're swimming across the dock. So tonight we could pretend that we're swimming across the Atlantic to meet each other midway. So keep going, kick, 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 and release. Bring the hands underneath the head. I think it was that says kiki, kiki, kiki rather than kick. Oh, the wonders of transcript. Okay, then we're going to try it with the arms. So stabilize the leg at the back. This one's a bit more challenging for the back. Bring both arms out in front. So as you lift up, you're going to go through the arms. So squeeze the bottom, lift up. Let the arms go this time. So just working through the arms, squeezing out. 30 seconds, keep going. So 30 seconds with the arms, halfway there. Keep it going, squeeze, 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 squeezing through the back, moving those arms, and then coming underneath, hands down, just let the hips wiggle again. So, you know what's coming next, don't you? Yes, yes, yes. We've done the legs, we've done the arms. We're going to do both this time. So you have the option. If the arms and legs is too strong, or if you have any shoulder issues and the arms are too strong, just go back to legs or go back to arms. Your choice. Otherwise, this time, arms and legs out. We're going to lift arms and legs at the same time and swim that Atlantic. So lifting up. So swim, swim, swim. Kick, kick, kick. Keep the head looking down. So nose is down. Crown of the head is coming forwards. And just kicking out, moving those arms as quickly as you can. So halfway there. So arms and legs are just moving as quick as you can. Past the ears. So just quick out, quick, 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 quick. Alternating the legs. You can do it standing, like you can do it with this way. You don't have to do it lying down if you don't want to. Go down, stop, come all the way down. Just relaxing. Turn that head to the opposite side. So turning your head to the opposite side. Just releasing everything down. Taking a breather. See, this isn't like normal teaching, because normally I'd get up and I'd walk around and make sure everybody else is doing it all right. Doing it online is like, yeah, got to do the work myself. So anyway, cool. Okay, we're going to come back up onto hands and knees. Come up onto those hands and knees. Good. So this one's for lower back, but it does help with hips and with shoulders. So we're going to come into our thread the needle, but we're going to do two opposite. We're going to do opposite through to our knee today as well. So just watch to begin with. You probably know normal thread the needle. So we're going to take the left hand to begin with. We're going to thread it all the way under. So coming all the way through, bring the shoulder down to the ground. Once you're down, we're going to slide the front arm forwards and pull the opposite shoulder down towards the ground, elbow down towards the ground. So we're getting a stretch through one side. Really nice stretch through this outer deltoid and into the shoulder. And we're getting a stretch through the one that's on the ground, reaching through with that bottom arm. Slide the hand back in, push through the elbow, come all the way back up. Good, take it to the opposite side. So sliding through, keep these hips still. Coming through, all the way through. Slide the opposite arm out in front and then pull down with this armpit towards the ground. So you're finding that stretch through the shoulder. Hold and breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. And then slide that hand all the way back in, push through the elbow. Push through the hand, come all the way back up. This time we're going to go to the diagonal. So take the left hand, bring it past the knee. So you're coming past the knee this time, drawing the belly in, coming all the way through, past the knee, rotating a little deeper this time. So holding it all the way through, and a little bit more movement. Make sure this hip hasn't drifted, bring it back over the center, and then come all the way back. Take it to the opposite side. So take it all the way through, but through to the knee. All the way through, looking through to the side. Drawing that belly in, making sure the hips haven't shifted. And then coming all the way back to the center. Take a child's pose. So we're going to do those two again. So if you had a preference, you can choose which one you want to do. So we're going to do one more set of those, two on each side, but you can either do the sideways one with the arm stretch, or you can do the knee, arm across to the knee. So you choose. I'll do one on each side. So we're going to come through either through to the side or through to the diagonal. You're coming forwards, bring the arm in front, pull the shoulder blade down. We can do one set of each, obviously. You don't have to do two of the same one, but just your preference. Coming all the way back. So if you're doing the arm to the knee, you're threading it through to the knee. Coming a little deeper. keeping this opposite arm nice and strong. So pushing up through the elbow, pushing back into the shoulder. So hold and breathe. Coming all the way back. Good. Just one more on each side. So you choose which one you're doing. So either coming through and stretching out in front or coming through to the knee. Just breathing in and breathing out when you get there, and trying to keep the head in a nice natural position. Trying not to make the head go in a position that it doesn't want to be in. So through to the knee. If you're coming down to the knee, just hold and breathe for a couple of breaths, pushing through this shoulder. And then coming all the way back. Last side, so pushing all the way through. And then releasing all the way. Good. Take a stretch back, coming down all the way into that child's pose. And then coming over onto the back, we're going to finish with our side twist. So again, good for back. We're going to add a cross leg on though today to try and open up a little bit more into the hips. So come down onto the back, arms wide, level with the shoulders, palms up. Good. Then we're going to cross the right leg over the left leg. Squeeze the thighs together. And then drop that right leg over towards the ground. So you're getting the stretch through the lower back into that outer hip. Try and look away from that side. So looking towards the right side, head turns towards the right. Dropping that leg over. And then coming back to the center. Uncross the legs, take it to the opposite side. Just make sure that pelvis is just relaxed, tilted up. Bring the leg over the top. Keep that gentle pulling in with the belly button towards the spine, so you're not arching too much to the back. Bring that leg over. So maybe if you're a little bit tight in the hips, you're feeling this stretch down into the glutes or down into that outer hip. Just take a few breaths there and just try and release any tension. So breathing in, breathing out. And then come back to the center, taking it the opposite way again. So bring one leg over the top, squeezing into those thighs, taking it over the top, just releasing through the body, looking away to the opposite side with the head. Breathing in and breathing out. Then coming back to the center, taking the cross, opposite leg again, crossing it over the top, taking it over to the side, looking along the opposite arm, getting that nice release through the lower back, into the glutes. And then bring the feet back to the center, both feet down to the ground. Just take the knees this time with the knees together, take them over to one side. So just coming over to one side, looking along the opposite arm, just releasing through the spine, back to the center. And gently over to the opposite side, looking away with the head. And then come back to the center. Draw both knees into the chest, gently round and rock through the body. So just taking the knees one way, circling around, massaging that lower spine, that back. Take it the opposite way, just circling around. And then rolling over to one side. Push yourself gently up to a seated position. And just before we finish, bring the legs out long and just point and flex the feet. So I know we're asked about hips at the beginning. So sometimes if you've got tight hips or pain in the hip, it reflects, it's coming up from the feet rather than just being in the hips or the lower back. So I want you to just give the feet a little shake now, shake them about, and then just let them fall where they want to fall. And just notice if one is turning in or turning out. So when I fell down the stairs a couple of years ago and injured my back, this left leg used to run and roll in like that, and I had a lot of hip pain. And until I managed to release that back, that was where my foot wanted to go. But the more it went that way, the more hip pain obviously I had. So, and it's an old ankle injury as well anyway, so it probably has that weakness there. So you need to try and work on making sure that both feet are in line, especially if you're doing squats or anything like that, a little bit more, any yoga positions. Just make sure that those feet are in line, and just try and release through the toes, so you've got lots of flexibility in the feet. So just push the toes down to the ground and then pull them up. But again, as you pull them up, just watch what they're doing, that they're not rolling inwards or outwards. Pulling up. And then circle the feet backwards. Really important, if you're starting to go out again, in the UK especially, you're starting to go out walking and you've been at home a lot, or you've not been doing as much exercise, really, really spend the time focusing on your feet. Good. Bring the legs into cross-legged. Take a shoulder circle, so just circling through the shoulders and circling back the opposite way. And then take a lift up, breathing in, opening up through the chest and breathing out. Good. Place the hands behind the back, squeezing the shoulders back, opening up through the chest, lift the chin just a little, find that stretch. And then dropping the chin down, just releasing through the back. Coming back into a seated position. Thank you for joining me today. I will put my web address and email in the chat. If you have any questions, you can put anything in the chat as well.